Ice cream used to be the ultimate innocent treat from childhood. The biggest controversy was whether you preferred vanilla or chocolate. And the worst thing that could happen was brain freeze. Those days are officially over. While you've been debating GB Glace versus your local favorite, some truly questionable players have quietly infiltrated your freezer aisle with products that make last week's forgotten leftovers look like a safe bet. Scandinavia loves its ice cream. Swedes consume about 12 liters per person annually, making them second only to Finland in European ice cream consumption. But that devotion has made Nordic consumers prime targets for corporations cutting corners while charging premium prices. Most Scandinavians have no idea that the ice cream industry has been quietly consolidated under a handful of multinational giants. These corporations have systematically acquired beloved local brands, stripped out premium ingredients, and replaced them with cheap fillers while keeping the nostalgic packaging that built consumer trust. The result is a freezer aisle filled with products that look familiar, but deliver something fundamentally different from what your parents enjoyed. So let's talk about the 5 ice cream brands that should come with warning labels and the 5 that actually deserve space in your freezer, because life's too short to gamble on dessert. Number 5, GB Glace. GB Glace wants you to think they're still the beloved Swedish institution your grandparents trusted. Founded in 1942, they built their reputation on quality ingredients and local production. But here's what the nostalgic marketing doesn't tell you. Since Unilever acquired them in 1996, GB Glace has become just another cog in a global corporate machine that prioritizes profit margins over product quality. Look at any GB Glace ingredient list today. You'll find glucose-fructose syrup, carrageenan, mono, and diglycerides, and a chemistry set of stabilizers that would have horrified the company's founders. The original recipes that made GB Glace famous have been systematically replaced with industrial formulations designed to maximize shelf life and minimize costs. And let's talk about Unilever's track record. In 2023, British authorities launched a greenwashing investigation into Unilever for making vague environmental claims that couldn't be substantiated. The company has also been named as sourcing palm oil from mills controlled by the Harita Group, responsible for destroying indigenous communities in Borneo. When you buy GB Glace, you're funding these practices whether you realize it or not. The most infuriating aspect is how GB Glace has positioned itself as the friendly Swedish option while operating as a subsidiary of a multinational that has faced criticism for everything from environmental destruction to failing to scale back its presence in Russia. They've mastered the art of looking local while being anything but. Sweden's largest ice cream company is now just another Heart brand product line, indistinguishable from Walls in the UK or Langnese in Germany, except for the packaging designed to exploit your childhood memories. Number 4, Ängelholms Glass. Ängelholms Glass markets itself as the authentic Skåne family business making ice cream with love and tradition since 1937. And technically, they still are family-owned. But dig deeper into their innovation history, and you'll find a company that has repeatedly experimented with your dessert in ways that raise serious questions about their commitment to quality. In 2011, they switched from using sugar to aspartame in some products. When that drew criticism, they moved to stevia, a switch they themselves admitted gave their ice cream a sharp, metallic aftertaste with a hint of licorice. Their own quality manager acknowledged they had to add other aromas to mask the off-taste, but admitted it didn't feel right. They've essentially been using their customers as test subjects for sweetener experiments that even they weren't fully satisfied with. The company now produces up to 25% of their output as private label products for other brands. This means the same factory making Ängelholms Glass is also churning out budget ice cream for whoever pays them. When a company splits its attention between premium branding and budget private label production, quality control becomes a juggling act, and the ball that gets dropped is usually the one consumers don't see coming. Their ingredient lists reveal the standard industrial approach: glucose syrup, stabilizers, emulsifiers, and flavorings that have replaced the simple cream-based recipes of traditional Swedish ice cream. For a company that trades so heavily on regional authenticity, The actual product increasingly resembles what you'd find from any industrial producer. Number 3. Lejonet and Björnen. The Lion and the Bear built their reputation on premium Gothenburg ice cream since 1977. They positioned themselves as the artisanal alternative, the ice cream for people who cared about quality. New owners in 2009 promised to develop the brand further with more focus on environmental friendliness and local production. What actually happened tells a very different story. Longtime customers have noticed the decline. One reviewer on TripAdvisor wrote that it feels like corn syrup is the main ingredient, adding that if you've had real ice cream made with only natural ingredients, you'll be grossed out by Lejonet och Björnen. Another lamented that butter and other weird things have been added to the ice cream, making it inedible. The chocolate sauce that was once homemade and fantastic now comes from plastic tubes. These aren't isolated complaints. They represent a pattern of quality degradation that loyal customers have documented over years. The ingredient lists tell the same story. What was once simple ice cream now includes glucose syrup, emulsifiers, stabilizers, and a complexity that betrays the artisanal origins. The brand still trades on its reputation from decades past, but the product no longer matches the premium positioning. Customers describe the texture as weirdy gooey and overly sweet, characteristics that suggest industrial shortcuts rather than craft production. What makes this particularly frustrating is that the original owners built something genuinely special. The new management inherited a beloved brand and a loyal customer base, then systematically eroded both by prioritizing cost reduction over quality maintenance. They're still living off reputation built by people who actually cared about ice cream. Number 2. Carte d'Or. Carte d'Or positions itself as the sophisticated European choice, a premium brand that brings continental elegance to your dessert table. The reality is that Carte d'Or is just another Unilever product line, manufactured using the same corporate playbook that has degraded ice cream brands across the globe. The Good Shopping Guide evaluated Carte d'Or on ethical criteria, and the results were damning. Marked down for lack of organic certification. Marked down because parent company Unilever believes GMO ingredients are safe to use. Marked down because Unilever states it uses animal testing where required by law. The premium packaging conceals practices that would give most Scandinavian consumers serious pause. Unilever's approach to ice cream has been documented across multiple brands. They acquire products with simple ingredient lists, then systematically replace premium components with cheaper alternatives. Corn syrup replaces sugar. Vegetable oils replace dairy fat. Thickeners and stabilizers replace the natural creaminess that comes from proper churning and quality ingredients. The result is products that technically qualify as ice cream, but bear little resemblance to what the brand names originally represented. Carte d'Or in Scandinavia is manufactured as part of Unilever's global supply chain, meaning the ice cream in your Swedish freezer might share more DNA with products in Brazil or Indonesia than with anything traditionally Scandinavian. The fancy French name is pure marketing theater designed to justify premium pricing on what is essentially industrial ice cream with upscale packaging. Number 1. Häagen-Dazs. And at number 1, the ice cream brand that represents the most elaborate deception in your freezer aisle, we have Häagen-Dazs. Everything about this brand is designed to mislead you, starting with the name itself. Despite the Scandinavian-sounding name with those distinctive umlauts, Häagen-Dazs has absolutely nothing to do with Scandinavia. It was invented by Reuben Mattis in the Bronx in 1960, who admitted he created a fake Danish-sounding name because he wanted something exotic. The letters A and the digraph ZS don't even exist in Danish. The entire brand identity is built on deceiving consumers into thinking they're buying something European and sophisticated when they're actually buying American ice cream with a made-up name. Now owned by Froneri, a joint venture between Nestlé and private equity firm PAI Partners, Häagen-Dazs has had multiple allergen recalls due to packaging mix-ups. In one incident, peanut butter ice cream was sold in chocolate chip containers, creating potentially life-threatening situations for people with nut allergies. In another recall, almond bars were mixed into chocolate bar cartons. For families dealing with severe allergies, these aren't minor inconveniences. They're examples of quality control failures that could trigger anaphylactic shock. The premium pricing is particularly galling when you examine how the brand operates. They charge super premium prices while being manufactured on industrial production lines, alongside dozens of other Fronnery brands. The mystique of artisanal European craftsmanship is pure fiction. You're paying extra for a fake Scandinavian name and marketing that exploits Nordic heritage for American corporate profit. What makes Häagen-Dazs particularly offensive to Scandinavian consumers is that the entire brand was built to exploit your cultural identity. Every time someone in Stockholm or Copenhagen buys Häagen-Dazs, thinking they're supporting something connected to their heritage, they're falling for a marketing scheme invented by an American businessman who saw Nordic authenticity as something to exploit rather than respect. Before we dive into the brands that actually deserve your money, hit the like button and subscribe if this investigation has opened your eyes to the shady secrets of the food industry. Now, here are 5 ice cream brands you can buy that won't gamble with your health. Number 5. Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's has proven that ethical business practices and delicious ice cream aren't mutually exclusive. While other brands slap natural labels on chemical cocktails, Ben & Jerry's has maintained genuine commitments since the company was founded in Vermont in 1978. They were the first ice cream company in the world to use fair trade certified ingredients, starting in 2005. Today, they source 5 core ingredients on fair trade terms: sugar, cocoa, vanilla, coffee, and bananas. This isn't marketing fluff. It represents over 27,000 farmers receiving fair prices for their products. In 2022, Ben & Jerry's paid over $4.7 million in fair trade premiums back to farming communities, representing real investment in the people who grow their ingredients. They became the first ice cream company to join Tony's Open Chain in 2022, ensuring full traceability of their cocoa beans and supporting justice for cocoa farmers. Their Caring Dairy program works with farmers across the United States and Europe, including the UK, to ensure fair labor through the Milk with Dignity standard, uphold animal welfare through Global Animal Partnership certification, and champion regenerative agriculture. Yes, Ben & Jerry's is owned by Unilever, and in September 2025, co-founder Jerry Greenfield resigned in protest over restrictions on the brand's social activism. But crucially, Ben & Jerry's negotiated unusual independence clauses when they sold in 2000, maintaining their own board of directors that protects their social mission and ingredient standards. They're the first wholly owned subsidiary to secure B Corp certification, and they continue to source non-GMO ingredients and cage-free eggs. Their ingredient lists reflect actual values rather than marketing buzzwords. No high-fructose corn syrup, no artificial flavors, no shortcuts that compromise quality. When a brand fights its own corporate parent to maintain its principles, that's a level of commitment worth supporting. Number 4. Hemglass. If you grew up in Sweden, you remember the distinctive melody of the Hemglass truck rolling through your neighborhood. Founded in 1968 by Eric Eriksson, Hemglass pioneered home ice cream delivery, long before anyone was talking about convenience culture. Those iconic light blue vans became part of Swedish summer memories for generations. Hemglass was owned by Nestlé from 2002 until 2013, when it was sold to Varsego Sverige AB, returning it to Swedish ownership. This independence has allowed them to innovate in ways that actually benefit consumers, rather than just corporate bottom lines. They've worked with Swedish ingredient companies to develop sugar-reduced ice cream using sweetened fibers from natural sources that replace sugar without the artificial aftertaste that plagued earlier attempts. Their business developer Anders Granath described the approach honestly. They tried sugar-free products before, and consumers weren't interested because the taste suffered. With new technology, they achieved products where the taste is really good, not artificial, without any off-taste. When customer feedback showed strong demand, they expanded these options into their standard range. This is how product development should work: listening to consumers and improving quality rather than quietly cutting corners. The home delivery model creates accountability that supermarket brands lack. When the same driver serves your neighborhood every week, reputation matters. Bad ice cream means losing customers face-to-face, not just losing anonymous shelf space. Hemglass has maintained quality because their business model requires it. Number 3. Triumph Glass. Triumph Glass represents what happens when a family business prioritizes craft over corporate growth. Founded in 1946 by Arne Munzing in a small space in Gothenburg, the company has remained family-owned for nearly 80 years. Today, they produce 17.5 million liters of ice cream annually from their factory in Sävedalen, employing over 110 people. Their quality credentials are verified, not just claimed. Triumph Glass is BRC certified, the global standard for food safety, and certified according to ISO 14001 for environmental management. These aren't marketing badges. They represent audited commitments to quality and environmental responsibility that many larger brands don't bother pursuing. Their premium line Farbror Arnes, named after the founder Uncle Arne, is crafted with fresh, heavy cream and the best available ingredients. The packaging design deliberately honors the company's heritage, combining tradition with modern quality standards. When your brand identity is literally named after the founder, there's nowhere to hide from quality failures. Triumph Glass has embraced sustainability partnerships that go beyond greenwashing. They've collaborated with Carbon Cloud to calculate emissions throughout their supply chain, creating transparency about environmental impact. They've partnered with the recycling app Bauer to reward customers who recycle their ice cream packaging. These initiatives show a company thinking about long-term impact rather than just short-term profits. Number 2. Magnum. Magnum proves that premium quality and ethical sourcing can coexist with global scale. Developed in Denmark in the late 1980s and launched in 1989, Magnum was the first handheld ice cream explicitly designed for adults, featuring that signature cracking Belgian chocolate shell that has become iconic. The sustainability credentials are substantial and verified. Over 98% of Magnum cocoa beans are sustainably sourced from Rainforest Alliance certified farms, and they're working to reach 100%. All vanilla extract comes from Rainforest Alliance certified farms. As a signatory to the Cocoa and Forests Initiative, Magnum has publicly committed to eliminating deforestation and has pledged to plant 465,000 trees in the Ivory Coast. Their partnership with Belgian chocolate producers represents genuine craft rather than marketing fiction. The collaboration with companies like Barry Callebaut ensures responsibly sourced chocolate that provides the distinctive thick coating and signature crack at first bite. The 5-ingredient philosophy for core flavors, cream, milk, eggs, sugar, and real vanilla, demonstrates that quality doesn't require a chemistry degree to understand. Magnum was the first ice cream brand to use recycled polypropylene plastic in its tubs. Their ice cream sticks are made from certified sustainable wood, and multi-pack cartons use recycled paper. In 2018, they launched vegan versions that won Best Ice Cream at the PETA Vegan Food Awards. For a global brand, this represents exceptional commitment to both quality and environmental responsibility. Number 1. SIA Glass. And at number 1, the ice cream brand that truly deserves your loyalty, we have SIA Glass. This is what authentic Swedish ice cream looks like when corporate shortcuts aren't part of the equation. SIA Glass is a family business with its heart in Slöinge, Holland. But this isn't just any family business. They belong to the Berta-gruppen, Sweden's oldest family-owned company dating back to 1569. When your family has been running businesses for over 450 years, you understand something fundamental about sustainability that quarterly earnings reports can never capture. They live in the countryside, naturally and close to agriculture. All their ice cream is produced in Sweden, with raw ingredients of the highest quality, preferring locally produced Swedish raw materials, fresh cream, milk, and berries. The cream comes from farms in Halland, including their own Bertegård, where their cows actually graze. This isn't supply chain marketing speak. This is genuinely knowing exactly where every ingredient originates, because much of it comes from their own land. Their premium Vår Finaste line features 31 to 35% Swedish fresh cream, well above industry standards. The ingredient lists are refreshingly simple. skimmed milk, cream, sugar, and real ingredients you can actually pronounce. When they use stabilizers, they use natural options like fruit kernel flour and guar gum, rather than industrial chemical alternatives. The commitment to craft shows in details that larger producers would never consider economical. They manufacture everything in Sweden with love for the craft and concern for animals and nature. This is what their marketing claims, but crucially, it's verifiable. The family ownership creates accountability that corporate structures deliberately avoid. When the Berthe family's 450-year reputation is attached to every product, quality isn't optional. Is SIA glass more expensive than corporate alternatives? Sometimes yes, but you're paying for ice cream that is actually what it claims to be. Real Swedish cream from cows, grazing in Halland. Ingredients you can trace to specific farms. A family that has survived 4.5 centuries because they understand that cutting corners destroys trust that takes generations to rebuild. The ice cream aisle has become a battlefield between authenticity and deception, between companies that respect their customers and those that exploit them. The brands worth avoiding have mastered the art of looking trustworthy while cutting every possible corner, trading on nostalgia and Nordic heritage while delivering industrial products indistinguishable from anything made anywhere else in the world. The brands worth buying have chosen a harder path, maintaining quality standards that cost more and generate smaller profit margins, being transparent about their methods and ingredients, taking responsibility when problems occur. They've proven that it's possible to make genuinely good ice cream at commercial scale without compromising safety or integrity. Your freezer space is valuable real estate, and every purchase is a vote for the kind of food system you want to support.